Hello friends, today we will be talking about financial inclusion 2022. All of us know very well that financial inclusion has been established as an effective tool for accelerating economic growth world over. And many countries have been making a lot of efforts to ensure that financial inclusion takes place and the banking system spreads far and wide. In this context, India has been making concerted efforts. Even the spirit of financial inclusion began from nationalization of banks in 1969 and 1980, when branch expansion has been rapidly progressing in India. And with the reforms in 1991-92, when new private sector banks have joined financial inclusion in a big way, with the acceleration of technology, state-of-art technology and alternate delivery channels proliferating in a big way, and the formation of NPCI in 2008 has brought another big impetus to the financial inclusion with the RuPay debit cards and introduction of UPI app in 2016. These were the milestones as far as the financial inclusion efforts are concerned. The actual policy impetus came in 2010 when RBI has directed banks to adopt a 3-year specific financial inclusion policy, and they should expand their branch network and other alternate delivery channels in a very systematic manner to reach out to the last mile in the country. But it's a very gigantic task to reach out to far and wide in the terrains in which Indian population is located. In this context, the alternate delivery channels have played a very dominant role, that is ATMs, POS terminals, business correspondents and RRBs, regional rural banks, have joined in 1975 to also accelerate the process of financial inclusion. And cooperative banks and credit cooperative societies have also been inculcating the habit of savings among the masses. So these were some of the steps. Now when we come to the technology area, then the onset of NPCI, there is formation of NPCI in 2008 by Reserve Bank of India, and the efforts of NPCI have been so glaringly important for financial inclusion that they have introduced RuPay cards and debit cards, and RuPay credit cards are also there now, and UPI app and UPI Lite, and a lot of efforts have been made by NPCI in contributing to the financial inclusion, which has provided this support to the financial inclusion efforts of commercial banks. And the actual policy started with financial inclusion policy in 2010, and then RBI has introduced as far back as in 2005 the no-frill accounts, that is zero balance accounts with no service charges for not maintaining any minimum balance. So that has been the beginning of inclusion of in the banking system, and that has rapidly grown. And later on in 2012, the no-frill accounts have been converted into basic savings bank deposit account, that is BSBD accounts. So the name has been changed and it has been rapidly spread, and the actual emphasis came with the introduction of Prime Minister's Jan Dhan Yojana, that is PMJDY, and that has given such a big fillip to the process of financial inclusion that the world over the recognition came for financial inclusion. The Reserve Bank of India has also started coming up with a financial inclusion index, and World Bank has been assessing the financial inclusion progress of different countries, and 2021, the latest Findex of World Bank, according to that, the population of 15 years and above who are having bank account, 79% of them are having accounts in India. And debit cards have been spreading very fast in India, and it's very notable that about 91 to 92 crore debit cards are in use now. They are with their customers, and the second thing is the rapid pace with which the fintech have joined financial inclusion, and NBFCs have joined the financial inclusion efforts has been very significant. And the trinity, that is a jam trinity which we call, that is Jan Dhan, Aadhaar, and we have Jan Dhan on one side, Aadhaar on the other side, and mobile on the other side. That is jam trinity which we call the combined efforts of Jan Dhan accounts and Aadhaar and mobile. All these put together have given a lot of focus, and penetration has started in a big way, and digital wallets have been proliferating. So the supply side has been very significantly increasing in India in the last 10 years, as a result of which the financial inclusion index as assessed by RBI has reached 56.4 in 2022 March, as against 43.4 in 2017. So in 5 years, 43.4 to 56.4, a big leap as far as financial inclusion is concerned. But then there is one limitation. The limitation is the usage of the financial inclusion efforts have not been up to the expected level. That is why RBI has been assessing the financial inclusion efforts with using three pillars. That is usage on one side, and quality, and access. That is access, availability of infrastructure, then usage by the customers, and quality of service provided by the financial intermediaries. So these are the three. But when you drill down into the statistics of financial inclusion as computed by Reserve Bank of India, we will very clearly find one thing: while the availability of infrastructure is expanding very fast, but the usage has not been expanding in the same proportion. So it is lagging behind because of lack of financial education, financial literacy, and digital literacy, and the pace with which the banks are spreading into the rural and semi-urban areas. The familiarity with the banking system has not been going at that pace. So the supply side is very robust. We have branches, that is brick and mortar branches, about 1.59 lakhs, and we have ATMs 2.17 lakhs, and we have about 60 lakh POS terminals and about 32 lakhs business correspondents in India. And this pace has been increasing very fast, and more and more number of accounts are being added to the banks, and banks have been very actively connecting the people. But the only, if the task ahead in financial inclusion is to be pinpointed, two things are very important. The first is financial literacy and digital literacy, and on the other side, people should be familiarized with the policy of borrowing and repaying in time, because the very purpose of financial inclusion is to harness the potentiality of enterprise in the country. And if that is not done, then I think somewhere we are missing the very purpose of financial inclusion. So the task ahead is how to lend to the last person, and how to ensure that the full potentiality of financial inclusion is realized by the banking system by making additional efforts in educating the people, and in disseminating knowledge about how to use the banking system, And more importantly, I think there has to be a lot of concerted efforts in regard to familiarizing people with the usage of technology and technology driven devices. That is why Reserve Bank of India has recently introduced UPI driven UPI 123 Pay. That is the payment system for those mobile holders who are having feature phones. It is estimated that about 400 million feature phones are in usage, and they may not be having the kind of digital connectivity, internet connectivity, and for them this payment system has been introduced. So a lot of efforts are being made, but only thing is it should reach to the masses so that they are in a position to use the financial inclusion process for making use, and they should be in a position to claw back the benefits of financial inclusion to accelerate the pace of the economy. I think in the next 5 years, we should be able to increase the quantum of usage of the banking system while simultaneously working on the safety and security of the consumers. And we should be in a position to protect the consumers. That is why RBI has brought out one nation, one ombudsman. That is a single ombudsman for all the financial intermediaries, and it is being done by Reserve Bank of India. I think we should be in a position to get connected with it. In addition to the internal ombudsman that the financial intermediaries are having, RBI is having a centralized ombudsman system where the people can reach out to them with their grievances so that they can be resolved very quickly, so that people build confidence in the financial inclusion efforts, and they come and seek the services of the banking system. I think a lot of business will increase if the banks are mindful about disseminating financial literacy and digital literacy among their customers, and all of the stakeholders come together to mine the actual potentiality of financial inclusion in the next 4 or 5 years to come, so that we can accelerate the pace of the economy. So, my dear friends, we will be talking more about the important topics in the coming sessions. But for now, I would request, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. Share these information pieces among your friends and associates, and whatever comments you are having, please put them in the comment box so that we will interact. And if you have any interesting topic on which you need some inputs, please do mention in the comment box. Thank you very much, and see you in the next episode.